Start with a slightly unsettling, slow-paced tone. Halloween is a time for fun, costumes and candy. But behind the playful masks and spooky decorations lie stories that are all too real. Tonight, we're not talking about fictional monsters or haunted houses. We're delving into 3 true stories that happened on Halloween. Events that are far more disturbing than any ghost story you've ever heard. These aren't tales to make you jump. They're stories that will linger long after the lights are back on. So turn down the lights, get comfortable, and prepare to hear about the real-life horrors of Halloween. Our first story takes us back to Halloween night, 1974, in Pasadena, Texas. 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien went trick-or-treating with his father, Ronald, his sister, and some friends. It was a typical Halloween evening, filled with excitement and laughter. When they got home just before bed, Ronald allowed Timothy to eat one piece of candy from his haul. He chose a pixie sticks, a giant one. Within an hour, Timothy was violently ill and passed away on the way to the hospital. The autopsy revealed a fatal dose of cyanide in the candy. At first, panic spread through the community, with parents fearing a random madman was poisoning children's treats. But the police investigation took a dark turn. They discovered that Ronald O'Brien was in severe financial debt and had recently taken out large life insurance policies on his children. He had given the poisoned candy not only to his son, but also to his daughter and 3 other children to make it look like a random act. Thankfully, the other children never ate the poisoned sweets. Ronald O'Brien, later dubbed the Candyman, was convicted and ultimately executed for his horrific crime. A chilling reminder that sometimes the real monsters are the ones we know and trust. Next, we travel to Halloween 1981 in a quiet suburban neighborhood. High school student Nima Louise Carter was at home getting ready for a Halloween party. Her parents were out for the evening and she was looking forward to a night of fun with her friends, but Nima never made it to the party. When her parents returned home late that night, they found the house eerily quiet. Nima was gone. There were no signs of a struggle. Nothing seemed out of place, except for a strange, bloody palm print left on the freezer door in the basement. The police were baffled. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, with no sign of Nima. The community searched, but it was as if she had vanished into thin air. The only clue was the mysterious print, which didn't match anyone in the system. The case went cold for years. It wasn't until 2 decades later, in 2001, that a breakthrough occurred. A man named Jake Bird was convicted of another crime, and his prints were entered into the national database. The system flagged a match: the bloody palm print from Nima Carter's basement. Bird, a transient who had been in the area back in 1981, confessed. He had broken into the home, and when Nima discovered him, he took her life. He led investigators to her remains, finally bringing a semblance of closure to a family who had waited 20 years for answers. It's a terrifying thought, a stranger lurking in the shadows, turning a night of celebration into an unending nightmare. Our final story happened on Halloween night, 1992, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A 16-year-old Japanese exchange student named Yoshihiro Hattori was on his way to a Halloween party with his American host brother. Dressed as John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever, Yoshihiro was excited to experience his first American Halloween. But they made a simple, tragic mistake. They went to the wrong house. They knocked on the door of Rodney Pears. When the door opened, Yoshihiro, in his excitement, shouted, "We're here for the party." Pear's wife, startled by the strange men at her door, screamed for her husband to get his gun. Pears emerged with a .44 Magnum. Yoshihiro, not understanding the danger and perhaps thinking it was a Halloween prank, continued walking toward him with a smile. Pears yelled, "Freeze!" But Yoshihiro's English was limited, and he didn't comprehend. Pears fired a single shot, hitting Yoshihiro in the chest, but he died shortly after. The tragedy sparked international outrage. Pears was tried for manslaughter, but was shockingly acquitted, arguing he acted in self-defense, fearing for his life. This case highlighted a stark cultural difference in attitudes toward personal defense, and the tragic consequences of a simple misunderstanding on a night meant for fun. These stories serve as a somber reminder that the scariest things in life aren't ghosts or goblins, but the unpredictable and sometimes dark nature of human actions. While we enjoy the thrills and chills of Halloween, it's important to stay aware and look out for one another. Thank you for joining me for these chilling true tales. If you found this video compelling, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. Stay safe out there and have a thoughtful Halloween.